get it going.
All right, Mulligans and Hacker is golf
Season
season 3,
so
episode 1. Our season preview.
3 seasons.
3 seasons. We're into our 3rd season. It's kind of crazy and hard to believe how things have kind of exploded, shall we say?
Well, grown anyways. This winter's been interesting.
Yeah.
So after we finished our last season,
Yep.
season number 2, I won the championship, the
Yep.
tour championship. This right here. We decided we were going to play some simulator golf. So we played in the simulator golf league.
Yeah, right down to Cottonwood, our home course, right? We got into the simulator league, and just more or less to stay loose and get our swings over the winter, so we didn't lose all the work we put in. Because I mean, we have a long off season here in Alberta. I mean, typically about 6 months, 5-6 months for sure, where you don't really get to get outside and get any swings. So I mean, it's either you're hacking around in your living room or you're going
Which I
to
did
a
a lot.
simulator.
I did a lot of that this winter.
Yeah, you were doing like 15 swings a day or something.
20 swings a day. Yeah. Just keeping the reps in. And then we did the sim league. We could talk about that.
Yeah, the sim league was. I mean, it was different for both of us because we'd never done it, right?
So that's kind of why we did it too. We've never did a lot of simulator work,
That's right.
and
That's
so it was a chance for us to get out once a week.
Yep.
And play in the Sims. So
and we went down there and we
didn't really have any expectations. We both wanted to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Didn't really happen. You made the playoffs. I didn't.
Yep.
But I know for a fact, and we've both seen it, that my game does not translate to simulators.
No, and honestly, like I mean, the simulator golf where it's difficult is I've seen enough ball flight on the range that the ball flight you get on the simulator is not 100% accurate to the way your ball flies when you're on the course, and which is okay because I mean it's a computer. It's basically a video game, right?
Because I don't hit a high tee shot. Well, I didn't hit a high tee shot. Max 220 off the tee box.
Yeah.
Didn't matter how hard I swung or what I did. I was not getting over 220 off the tee box.
Yep.
And in the simulator league, where you're playing the courses that the pros are playing.
Yes, because that's how it was set up, right? We played a few preliminary courses, and then every week we played
the preliminary courses I played well because they were a little shorter. So I was getting in there with my hybrids and in 2 shots. But when we moved to the PGA style courses, par 4s were 3-shot holes for me.
Yeah, it took me 3 to get on.
3 to get on.
And if you got a par, you got a 1 putt.
Yeah, and that's
so it wasn't putting and chipping on those things.
That's when my season started to take a dive, was after we got to those type of courses. So I didn't make the playoffs. Chris did make the playoffs.
I think the best I did in a week was I was in 10th maybe, or the top, just inside the top 10, which was okay because I think there was 30 golfers.
I think in the first. My highest spot was 11th, and that was like the first week they started taking points. And then
so I mean, that was pretty solid, but like
down.
our handicaps were crazy. Like mine was as low as like 1.8 at one point, and I'm like, I am not a 1.8 handicap golfer.
My handicap after the first 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks of getting your handicap was 6.7.
Yeah,
I'm a 15 handicap.
Yeah,
Legit 15 handicap. So we were kind of again interesting to get into.
The funniest part is, so I mean, there were some really good golfers there. There was a couple that were darn near scratch golfers.
Yeah.
And the funniest part is it was the guys who finished, I think, 10th and like 14th or something that played in the final. Yeah. And like the 12th or 14th place guy ended up winning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kudos to them.
Yeah,
I mean, I did make the playoffs. I lost out in the first round. I played a guy who played his best round of the sim season that day. And I mean, I didn't play terrible, but I didn't play great. And I had to give the guy, I had the biggest number of strokes that anybody had to give in the first round. I had to give the guy 7 strokes, and he beat me by 5, or we played match play. So he beat me by 5 holes. And those 5 holes, we shot the same, but because I had to give him a stroke, he beat me. So it was a little frustrating that way, but I mean, it was fun. It was
as those type of leagues,
right?
I mean, that's just the way they are.
But it was definitely a different experience, and it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Getting out at least once a week
Yes.
and swinging the clubs was beneficial.
Yeah. And I mean, we can see that in our early translation in our practice rounds now that things are open.
We'll talk about that after.
So,
This is the new setup. We're going to do this for a while.
Yeah.
This in the Mulligans and Hackers office. So until we maybe get outside or even move this mobile and go and do a podcast somewhere else, maybe done at the course this year.
Yeah, it's a different setup, right? It allows us to be in the same room, chit chat together instead of doing them on our computers, and it's just something a little different for season 3.
Yeah,
so which is exciting.
We'll see where this goes.
Yeah,
I think next thing we have to do is we have to update the camera.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably something that's got to be done.
Little bits here,
little bits at a time.
Just little bits at a time. And I did take my club over to Bob tonight. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You got it all. It's gonna be ready for.
It's gonna be ready for the weekend. So,
all right.
As you might have seen on our socials, I snapped in the handle, snapped my gap wedge, just in my follow through. Snap. I did hit the green with that shot.
I love to tell people it's because he's angry. He throws his clubs because he does do that once in a while. But that was an honest to God, just a nice swing.
That was a golf swing. Yeah, I hit the green with the shot.
He just comes back and he's like, I don't think my club's supposed to look like this.
So it's at Bob's, and Bob will get it fixed for me.
Perfect. Bob's always good. Bob's a good guy.
Bob said an 80-gram shaft. He goes, like 15 years ago, there was no such thing as an 80-gram shaft. Every shaft was like 120 grams. He goes, they make these out of such light alloys. He goes, strong guys like. This is what happens to them, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm so new. I don't know what an 80 gram or 120 gram shaft is, man. I just bought this off the shelf. So I'll have that tomorrow because, again, we've been playing a little bit. I think I've gotten 8 rounds in
now. Yeah, I know. I've got 5 or 6 in now.
Been a little.
Yeah, it has. I mean, my first round of the year, I went out and I shot an 80, and I was like, whoa, sweet. My next round, I shot an 88.
We play on a par 66 course, just so you know.
Yeah. So and then the next round, I shot I think I was an 84 or something like that. So I was like, okay. And then the next round, I shot a 78, and I was like, all right. Next round, I shot like an 83. And then last night we went out, and we kind of you had an okay front, and I had a terrible front, and then I had an okay back. And you had a terrible back, and we finished the same 86 plus 20. So it was kind of an up and down round. I mean, we had a bunch of good shots. It was just I had 6 3 putts yesterday. I don't.
I had a 4 putt, dude. I hit fairway green and 4 putted number 10.
Oh, so I hit 7 greens, and 6 of those I 3 putted.
So Sunday when we played, we started off, and this is where we see the streaks of golf that we know we can play, that we see the steps going forward where we're not so what am I looking for? Not so terrible at this game. So started off Sunday. I started par number 1, which I don't normally do. Par number 2, which I very rarely do.
It's a tough one to par.
Birdie number 3. Then I went par number 4 and par number 5.
Yep.
I was 1 under through 5. I have never ever been under par for that long in a golf round ever. So I saw that momentum and how I double bogeyed number 6 because I took a risky tee shot and it didn't work. It didn't work.
Yep.
And in hindsight, everything is hindsight. No, I shouldn't have made that shot. I should have just hit it up on the runway.
Yeah, I mean, you made an aggressive swing, and it's not like the swing you haven't made before.
That's true.
So
it was a little offline, hit a tree.
Just where the tee boxes was, it kind of locked you in there.
And when we have to realize when the tee box on number 6 is to the right, you may as well just come out left.
That's right.
And just go up the fairway and try and put it up on the landing strip instead of going right for the green, because number 6 green, it's a dog leg right.
Big dog leg.
Elevated fairway, elevated green. I hit that green on Saturday.
Yes, you had the look at eagle for the first time ever this year.
And it's the first time I've ever hit that green. And that being said, my driving has been totally different this year.
You're back to being Mr. Fairway Finder for sure.
But I'm getting
more distance
and straight.
Yep. You solved whatever issue you had there.
Yeah, the yips that I had last year and throughout the simulator league. Because I wasn't hitting driver well in the simulator league at all. It's really translated to the course in distance and accuracy. I think there was a couple of rounds where 2 rounds out of the 8 that I've played, one was like a 78% fairway, and the other one was like 85% fairways hit.
Yep.
The other ones are in the high 50s, low 60s.
Yeah, you're starting
the first round of the season, I think I was at 11% fairways hit, but that was the first round of the season.
Yeah, you're starting to hit fairways consistently.
But I'm happy with the distance.
Yes.
I'm starting to play from places that I'm not used to playing from.
Well, and I mean closer to the greens, which makes your second shot that much easier, right?
Which is why I broke my gap wedge, because I'm using it so much.
Yeah, you're probably not used to that. That's why I have 5 wedges.
But it is cool to see at the beginning of the year, like we're this, 6 rounds in, that there's noticeable differences in our game when it comes to accuracy or being able to play shots. Or you haven't putted well yet.
Well, I put it okay up until last night. Like last night I just didn't focus. It was an after work round. I wasn't putting.
You are the best putter in our entire group.
Like I had 6 3-putts, and I looked at my scorecard, and I'm like,
when I saw those,
I'm not gonna have 6 3-putts many rounds, so that just isn't gonna happen.
When I saw all those 3-putts on your card, I was like, wow, even you can have off nights with the putter.
Oh yeah, but I mean the fact that I still was 20 over with 6 3-putts, and I mean, I think my only one putt, or no, I had 3 1-putts. I think one was a birdie, and then one was I think, then the other 2 were pars, I think. Yeah. So I mean, it was just kind of like, okay, but I mean, again, those rounds after work for me are hard to just, like, I'm out there to swing, and I don't focus as much as I normally do when I'm putting.
Agreed.
Because I'm just like, I just kind of want to be done.
I want to get through the round.
I just kind of want to be done.
That's exactly what I was thinking last night. Like, I had an okay front, but there was really no way I was going to be able to bring it back on back now.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, let's just get through this. And then you start your mind wanders, and then the golf game wanders, and so be it. There it is.
100%. Right? I'm using my new putter that I got last year that I never really got comfortable with last season. And early on in the season, like I was down to like 1.7 putts a hole up until last night, which kicked it up to 1.9. But that's fine. I'm gonna have off nights like that. I hit a couple uncharacteristic putts. I had about 5 or 6 lip outs that were just ridiculous.
Same.
Just like burning the edge. Between me and you, we had like a dozen. It was crazy. Yeah. And I mean, that's going to happen too, but usually we're pretty good with those.
Get close to drop too, right? So,
but I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with where my game is at.
Start the season, I'm really happy. Fairway to greens is better. Putting is always going to be a work in progress, but we start our season this weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I think when this podcast comes out, we're going to release it on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to do a Saturday release this time. We're going to move to Saturdays for a bit and just release them then.
And Saturday, we're playing our first round.
Yeah, so
it's not supposed to be nice.
So if you're listening to this, we're probably going to be on the golf course.
Yeah,
more than likely, we'll be on the golf course, and
might be a little wet.
We'll be well into round 1. Well, it's supposed to be 19, possible rain showers. I mean, it's perfect because I'm on call this weekend. It will keep me not busy, which will allow me to focus on golf, which is good. And I mean, it's Jake and Josh are coming down to join us. I think we got like 6 or 8 guys.
6 guys coming out on Saturday. Might be 8 on Sunday.
Perfect.
And again, just our friends, and we're going to have some fun and have some laughs, and just get these guys in the golf, get ourselves out there, and a little bit of competition between, Chris, myself, and Clark, who are like, the 3 major winners here. And
and I mean,
we've definitely, between the 3 of us, we've definitely made it that we definitely want to beat each other.
Yeah. So there's no doubt about that.
As the season goes on, the other guys kind of rotate through and come in and play and get some points on the board. But I think my 2 biggest challenges this year in winning my first chase for the Mulligans and Actors Cup is going to be Chris and Clark. But I think I can do it this year.
Well, and I mean, I'm back healthy now this season, so I'm not.
I did miss a chance last year of taking the chase for the cup because you were hurt for 5 weeks.
Yeah, I missed the first few weeks, and I gave everybody an open shot at it.
But I can't take anything away from how Clark played last year.
No, he played terrific. But I mean, now it'll be a level playing field for everybody.
I think so.
I mean, it's always sweeter when you can actually get out there and beat guys when they're healthy, right?
Yep.
Even when I came back last year, I wasn't the same.
You played the first few rounds in a boot.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and
granted that helped your swing a
little bit for some of them, yeah. But I mean, I'm feeling better about where my game's at now, and I'm feeling better like in general now that my ankle's healed up. And I mean, actually, my 1 year anniversary of my tear is Sunday. It'll be our second round of the season. We'll be in when it happens. So it's it's nice. It's been a long time. It's been a long wait over the winter. I mean, it doesn't seem long, but it seems like we had about 8 winters here to close out the last half of winter.
It was terrible. The end of winter just did not want to give up.
It would get warm, and then it would all of a sudden snow and freeze again. It would get warm, and snow and freeze again. And it's like we had 8 winters and about 5 springs, and then we had we had summer one this last couple of days up to like 30 degrees here, and then it's just supposed to drop off again. It's welcome to living in Medicine Hat.
Yeah, definitely spring.
It's the bounce around.
But we're happy to get the season going.
Yep.
But again, over the winter, let's talk about some things that happened over the winter.
Yeah.
That we haven't had a chance to talk about, but people may have seen. So we became brand ambassadors for 36 a day.
Yes, we did.
I see you're wearing one of them. That's cool. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I just came from practice tonight. This is kind of I'm into my last week here of coaching my club girls, and we had practice tonight, so I just kind of ran.
Just giving you a hard
I know. I have about 6 or 7 of them at home. I wear one every day on the golf course. So
Mike Johnny from 36 a day and us, we've been cooperating for a couple of years now, and I guess that was just a natural progression of that relationship that we just wear as hats anyways. So he looked after us this year and got us some.
I love the white ones though. I love that white one you're wearing. Like that's the one I wore the other night. I know
these are
comfy.
And so he sent us out some samples and stuff. So we really appreciate Mike having a little bit of faith in us and being ambassadors and doing right by his product and his brand.
Yep.
We'll continue to carry that banner for the whole season.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of reaching out to different places to try and see what's happening.
We did have, so let's recap the guest podcast from the winter.
Okay.
So we had Mac from On the Screws podcast as our first guest, as we did the year before.
Yeah, and actually Alvin did that one solo.
I did that one
very first solo
guest podcast.
Because I had to go to work.
But that was really easy because Mac kind of took over the podcast and led it. So that guy's a gem. So then we recorded 2 podcasts on that day. So then we had Mike Johnny from 36 a day was our second guest. So for the first half of that podcast, Mac from On the Screws guest host with me.
Yep.
And we had Mike on for a chat talking about his brand and golf in general. And again, the people that we meet like that through this social media stuff. I mean, there's some really good people out there.
100%.
And Mac from On the Screws and Mike Johnny from 36 a day and really all the guests that we have that we go over here. I mean, we love talking to them. It's just that's the golf to me.
Easy to talk golf with those guys.
Again,
right?
it's the social media golf world, right? Like it's so cool. And then we had who was 3? 3 was, let's see here. It's been a while, so no judgment.
3 would have been one of the Pinehurst guys.
So, right, Johnny.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, there was Greg from the Pinehurst 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
From the Pinehurst 6.
Greg from the Pinehurst 6. That was a cool little chat. They do a really cool thing. So
he's a cool guy. You guys make sure you follow them.
Check them out because I think they've started some sort of a podcast too now, reviewing the full swing stuff.
Oh, okay.
I believe they have. So go check that out. Then we had
Mr. Biodegradable Golf Ball.
Well, Brandon from Bingo Bango Bongo.
Oh, yes.
That was the second one I did solo because you weren't in that one.
Again, yeah.
Brandon is a gem. Love that guy. We talked for quite a while before we started the podcast, and we talked for quite a while after the podcast. And
it's funny how that works.
He's a gem. What a great dude. And I love his social media. Follow Bingo Bango Bongo. It's a game style in golf.
Yeah.
So, and then I joined him for his first Bingo Bango
Instagram Live or something.
banter.
Yeah.
Is what he called it. So I was on his first little delve into live Instagram. So that's on his. So you should check that out too. That was cool because that guy's loves golf and he's into the digital creation as well. So that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Then we did biodegradable.
Yeah. We did the biodegradable golf
with
balls
Mitchell.
With Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah. So it was short but sweet. Because I really wanted to know about these biodegradable golf balls.
Yeah, they're kind of a niche thing, but I mean, they are kind of cool.
It is cool. I mean, I got some.
We do have some. We have to.
We're going to try it.
We definitely got to go try them out.
Yeah, I think we'll bring some up for the boys sometime this year. We'll hit them into some bodies of water because we know the bodies of water that we can hit them into on Cottonwood. That's for sure.
For sure.
For sure. So yeah, so that was our guest for this year. So I think in year number 1 we had 3 guests.
Yep. And this
Second year we had 5.
Yeah.
Next year maybe we'll have more.
Well, I mean, we tried to get a couple other ones going that just didn't work out this year.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone was kind of busy.
And I think over the summer we may drop a couple more in too.
Yeah, we'll see what the summer.
If it happens, it happens, right? But we're going to do these hopefully a little more regularly than we did last year. But when we get into this type of season, we want to go.
Yeah, I'd rather be golfing than sitting in front of the camera inside.
So maybe we'll do a little more stuff from the golf course. Maybe.
We'll see.
But as we get through the season, we start going through the season, we'll do these podcasts, do some updates. And so the next thing we should talk about is the new logo that I just dropped today.
Yeah.
Or if this is coming out on Saturday, this would have been Thursday that we dropped the logo. Tim from Hacker Golf in Regina, during Masters weekend, just randomly sent out a message, said, "Hey, I've been working on your logo. Here, what do you think?" And he just sent us a logo. It's the one that's up on our socials right now.
It's a beauty.
And it's a beauty.
It's really nice.
And not only did he just do us the logo, we actually got a couple of shirts with the logo on it as well.
Yeah, we're probably wearing them today. Actually, while we're
while we're golfing.
Yeah,
if it's Saturday, we're wearing them today.
Yeah.
It's right over there on the chair.
Oh yeah.
So we don't have Chris's here because Chris has that lovely bright colors that he likes to wear. But this is mine, and this is the logo that Tim came up with, and we got it on a couple of shirts. So that's pretty cool. I'm really happy with that one. That looks really sharp.
Yeah, I mean, he did some cool stuff with it. He did. He's got like the microphone for the podcast, and the flag for the golf, and then the golf clubs and the golf ball. I love it. I love how it looks. It's is a fresh new logo, like something we've done every year. Is we kind of just drop.
Yeah, we've kind of.
I mean, that hasn't been our intention, but
it just kind of works out that way. So first year we had our logo that we use for our jacket for the Tour Championship. That logo is not going to change for the jacket.
Yeah.
Then Mac did us up kind of a refined one. Mac from On Screws did us a refined one that we use.
This one right here.
This one right here. So this is going to be still prominent in Mulligans and Hackers going forward.
Yeah.
But with this new logo for merchandise, we're going to start and making these available to people if they want. So again, we're new to this. If it's something you'd like to get a polo with that logo on it, just reach out to us, DM us through Instagram, Facebook. We'll chat.
YouTube.
Wherever you're watching it. Because now that we're recording these like this, this will be the first season that we're actually going to have these on season 3 onto YouTube.
Yeah, we've done the guest podcast on there.
But we've never done our season podcast. We have season 1 on there. We don't have season 2.
Season 1's on there, just audio.
Just audio.
Yeah, and I didn't put season 2 on there on audio because I've had some computer switching around and doing stuff. I've just been late.
So again, for us, this is just a natural progression of where we're going with. We're going to do our season podcast live too, so we'll put that up on the YouTube channel, just to keep some content on our YouTube channel. So go subscribe to that. Why not?
So new season. So the schedule looks a little different this year.
Yep.
So we've decided instead of out of town dates, we're gonna essentially do like a Medicine Hat tour, right? We're gonna hit all the courses in the hat.
So we have 4 events set up that if you see on the schedule, I think it
says TBD.
It says TBT, to be determined.
Yeah.
So around our area, we have our golf course, Cottonwood, that we play at.
Yep.
We have Connaught, which we played last year.
Yep.
Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club.
Yep.
Desert Bloom. Desert Bloom. I'll mention that one in a sec. And Red Cliff. We also have a par 3 that might get worked in there somehow this year for some sort of a par 3 event. Maybe.
Interesting. I don't mind that idea.
Par 3
champion. That idea.
Mulligans and Hackers par 3 championship. How does that sound?
I like that.
Right?
I like
now we might incorporate that into our tour as well, just as singles set standalone date.
Okay.
Doesn't count for points, but just the par 3 champion. But we're going to play these other courses where we would go out of town once a month. We're going to play one because personally, I've never played Desert Bloom. So in all the years we've been playing, this will be our 3rd season playing regular golf. Never made it out to the Bloom. For me, it's always seemed like that hoity-toity type of golf course. But
I played it 2 years ago. But the thing is, it was hoity-toity for a while. But the new owners, the new owners a few years back, what they did was they cut down all the crap around the edges because it used to be very linksy. Like your ball would hit and roll off the fairway and you'd be toast. So they cut it down, they groomed it, they made it a lot more accessible for the average golfer. They also have I think 6 or 7 different tee setups, which is good for the proper handicap to play off of. The thing about them is it's in a valley, it's wide open, it gets windy. There's some houses that are close on some of the holes. The greens are like putting on pavement because they are fast as compared to some of the other places, right? But I mean, beautiful course. I've only played there twice in the last 5 or 6 years. I played there a couple years ago with Mark and Josh, and then our electrician. And then I played there for my bachelor party when we finally got married. And we played on October, the end of September, and it was awful. Awful. So the one thing about Desert Bloom, it will not be at the end of our schedule.
No.
It will be a little bit earlier.
And I think everybody
mid-ish in our schedule.
And I think all of us going out there will be on an even playing field.
Oh yeah.
Right, because we've never really played it in
pristine nobody conditions. Plays it every day, or nobody's gonna have a real leg.
So we're gonna do for the tour dates. We're gonna do Desert Bloom. We're gonna do Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club, Red Cliff, and Connaught.
Yep.
No particular order.
Yeah, we left it open because the reason we did that is because in previous seasons we've had something scheduled for that date, and then we find out there's a tournament or
that's something. That's why towards the end of last season we played Connaught for one of our out of town days because we were going to Coaldale.
That's right.
And when we called up to make our reservations for Coaldale, they had a tournament.
That's right.
So we couldn't make it. So we snuck off to Connaught, and then that's where the idea of just this year a Medicine Hat tournament, Medicine Hat tour.
Well, and I mean the other thing with that is we weren't as confident as we are now golfing. And I mean, you go into some of those, hoity-toity clubs here in the Hat, and it's like, I don't really want to golf here because I don't want to look.
I don't quite have the game to golf here, but
right.
I think our games are. I think I was telling you this not too long ago. The games that we have now, it gives me confidence. I can't wait to hit Medicine Hat.
Yeah,
I can't wait. That course has always eaten me up. It's been me and it has been a nemesis of mine since we started this.
Well, there for a while it was break 100 for you.
It was literally break 100 for me, and now I want to see where it sits.
Well, now you should be able to break 90, I would think, because 90's bogey golf.
Yeah,
and I mean we should be in the 80s somewhere.
And they cut the tree down on number 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed that tree.
You might be the only one.
It gives me a good target.
I guess.
But yeah, no, I think we on that course we should be somewhere in the 80s.
Yeah,
Connaught we should be somewhere in the 80s. I know Red Cliff we can be in the 80s because I played in the 80s last year out there.
Again, I played there a couple times last year, and the time me and Curtis played there, I had a terrible front 9, and I was considering bailing on the back 9. I was playing so poorly, but I persevered, went through the back 9. And I think I played the back 9 at +3.
Yeah, you played really well.
There was the game. Mindset just totally changed and started actually playing golf instead of fighting it. And so it's that the mental part of golf, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because I played those courses in the past, and it's just you're out there, you're having fun. It's not like the way it is now. When I go to a golf course, I'm like, well, I want to try and put up the best score I can put up today. I mean, I understand that golf is a game where you're not always going to be on, but I want to try and lay down whatever the best I got today is, right? So I mean, it's going in with expectations or some type of expectation versus none, which is kind of good and it keeps you honest. And just playing the different courses in the Hat is fun, and it doesn't we're still gonna get out of town. We're still gonna go. We're probably gonna go visit Rolling Hills. We'll probably maybe make a trip out to Maple Creek.
Burstall.
We'll probably get out to Burstall. I'm trying.
These are little hidden gems that we've found over the last couple of years.
I'm
we
trying
really
to drag you towards Calgary. I'd like to get you
Yep.
out to Serenity this year.
Yep.
Would be
There's sometime in this summer,
or even Speargrass would be an awesome one to get out.
There's a golf trip coming
Yeah.
sometime this year where we just get out for the weekend. We play a course Saturday, play a course Sunday. You know, that type of thing. That's coming this year for sure.
Well, I mean, I spent so much time in Calgary in the summers, like on the long weekends. I try to go as much as I can, and I mean, for me, it's always I want to play. You know, we are playing some of the repeat courses now because we found some that we love and that are nice to play that we just play once a year.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's the odd one every now and again that we don't play very often, or we've never played, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is an interesting course.
Like we've never played up in Lethbridge. We hit Tabor once
a couple of years ago.
We've never been really out the Brooks way. Brooks.
No, and I mean, I do a lot of work in Brooks, and I take the back way in the last little bit, and it's right on the golf course. Right, like you can see, like the back after the golf course. So I'm driving by there, and I'm like, yeah, probably gonna have to get out here. So by the way, the last time I went to Calgary, I checked the time to Bassano. We can go to Bassano in about an hour and a half, hour and 25 minutes. So we can spend a day. We can leave early, go to Bassano, get a tea time, play in the morning, go back to Brooks, have lunch, play Brooks, and be home an hour later. So just food for thought.
Food for thought. Yeah, that'd be a nice trek though.
Yeah, and I mean it's 36 a day is not foreign to us anymore.
Not anymore.
We did a lot last year.
Yeah, and
I mean we'll be doing it a lot this year.
Yeah, because Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays are out unfortunately because of the leagues
that they have.
And I mean, unless you get off work before 4, or you can get down there before 4:00 because that's typically the last tee time. You're kind of hooped. So I mean, we can only play Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays.
So I know now when my wife works some weekends. So when my wife does work on the weekend, it is definitely going to be a 36 a day Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah. We go down. Like, I mean, as it gets nicer, we'll go down earlier in the morning. We'll get a nice early morning round in. We'll get a break in, and we'll go down, 4 or 5 in the evening.
Yep.
And play an evening round. Have the rest of the day to do whatever you want to do. I mean, you can still get all your shit done, and then you go play golf, and it's good to go. And I mean,
so we started a little bit later this year, so I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get that 100 rounds in this year. That's going to be tough.
What do you mean? I got 100 in last year, and I started a month late. I did. I got 105 in.
You got more than me?
No, you had like 115 or 120.
I had 103.
No, you didn't. You had more than that.
103.
I got over 100 in last year.
Holy crap.
But I golfed like a madman when I came back. I golfed, like there was some days I did 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was like I just didn't leave the golf course some days because I was like, I got time to make up here.
Yeah, I wasn't into the
just round and round the circuit. You go all day long.
Just doing loops. 2 rounds was enough for me.
Yeah.
But again, I'm into the 36 a day type stuff too now.
We'll get 100 rounds. You just, I mean, playing 36 a day, it adds up pretty quick, right? And I mean, it's gonna get nice. We're gonna play our rounds. We're gonna get involved and probably play the Halo tournament again. We're gonna play the July 1st tournament again. We'll play. We're looking at some different options to get into some other scrambles possible.
Some other stuff. So. Again, we've been invited to a bunch of stuff that we're probably not going to be able to do because it's just too much. But there's a couple things that I really, really want to do this summer. I want to do the RBC Scramble Qualifier. I really
like that.
It's in Picture Butte.
Picture Butte. Okay.
I just started looking into the registration for that. And I really, somewhere down the line, I really, really like to do an Alberta Golf Tour event somewhere.
That'd be pretty sweet.
They don't come down this far because we're literally called in Medicine Hat the Forgotten Corner, and we're called that for a reason. So they don't really come south of Calgary for the tour, but just a weekend to go, just to have a weekend to say, okay, I'm going to this event, and that's just the goal this weekend. To get in the vehicle, go get a hotel, preferably play around the day before the event so you have some sort of an idea what the course is playing like. And then go play a legitimate amateur tour event the next day.
It'd be pretty cool.
So if we played the RBC Scramble, that's a PGA event.
Yeah.
So we could say that we played a PGA event. These are the bucket list goals for me. So PGA event, amateur tour event. So if we did that, this is for you, Mac. we wouldn't be new golfers anymore. We would actually be amateur golfers then.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah,
Would we literally legitimately be called amateur golfers?
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna wait for your answer on that.
I think we would be, and I mean, like in the last 2.5, 3 seasons, like I've played very close to 300 rounds, if not more. And you got to be getting close to the same. The first half year you were done because you had an injury.
Yeah, I missed some time there with the strained ligament in my arm. But again, well over 200.
Yep.
Right in the last few years. Now I've been milking this. We're new golfers for a long time, so
at some point that's gonna drop off.
At some point that label is gonna die off, and it's just not gonna be as I'm not gonna be able to get away with it as much as I used to. But that being said, that's what we're going for. We're going to play better golf. Like that's what we want.
Well, that's the idea, right? It's to try and be better golfers, and every year we've gotten our handicap down. So I mean, I'm hoping my goal this year is to try and get to a single digit. Like that's my goal. I mean, if I get there, great. If I don't, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would love to see my handicap as a single digit by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I know I can. I know I have the game that can do it. It's just a matter of finding the consistency.
And again, consistency. We've seen it. Like I mean, for me to go 5 holes at one under.
Yeah.
I mean, I did play 12 over for the next 13 holes, but that's my bogey golf game. The more and more I can put that type of par birdie type of golf in amongst that bogey golf.
You put a 9-hole streak together and you're playing 9 over.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
And you're good over, yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, that's what it is. Ultimately, it's just kind of managing your way around. And realistically, it's just trying to get more pars and trying to, when you have a bad hole, don't have a double or a triple, or try and like eliminate the amount of double and triples. That's what mix in the odd bogey once in a while.
That is where my bogeys in my rounds where I'm playing well, where the score elevation comes from is the doubles and triples.
Yes, yeah, and that's something that we have to figure out how to.
I really like if I'm having a good round, I really have to manage that par 5 better.
Well, that's a tough hole, right? Because the freaking swamp on the right side eats all the balls.
I know that I'm playing a little better with my drive off of that one.
Yeah.
But I'm still 50-50 hitting the fairway, 50-50 dropping the ball.
That's right.
Right? If I hit the fairway now, I can go for it in 2.
Yes.
And I have the confidence in my game to go for it in 2. But if it's 50-50, do you make that? You make that call all the time to just go driver? Or you hit a club to put yourself in the fairway, hit yourself up to the edge before the creek, and then you're on 3.
I don't know. The last 2 times up through it, I can't get my driver right now over the creek because usually I can just swing away and I can put it wherever. I can't get over the creek. I just went 3-wood and I just put it inside the 200 yard because I can hit that thing
like a mile. You hit your 3-wood and you're still going at it 2.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's like one of my favorite clubs in my bag to hit is the 3 because I just hit that thing a mile. But yeah, but that was the decision I made because I was dropping a ball. I think the first 4 or 5 times I played, I'm like, okay, I gotta manage this par 5 better because this is not working.
And the holes that give us difficulty like that, the ability to manage them a little different when you're having a good round.
Yes.
So you're not putting yourself in the double bogey range. But again, it's going
I mean, we've played that course enough to know which holes are going to give us grief, which holes are a bogey hole for us, which holes we know, hey, like if you're going to be aggressive, chances are you're probably going to drop a ball here. So maybe just don't tone back the aggressiveness, play for a par and move on. Take your medicine and move on, right? But that's just part of us growing as golfers, and it's coming. It's good. But no, I mean, I'm super excited for the new season. I mean, hopefully today, while you guys are listening to this, I'm crushing the round and winning the season opener. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, buddy, because I got dibs on the season opener.
You know what? If it's season opener, chase for the cup, you can have the season opener.
Yeah, that's true. Well, again, I'm going to be with you all again. So season number 1, when you won it, I finished 2nd. Last year when Clark won it, I finished 2nd.
How's it feel to be a bridesmaid all the time?
Well, we'll see when I win it this year.
Yeah.
I think that this
year. If you finish the runner-up again, that's going to be the new joke.
It will be the new joke, but I might give you the chase for the cup after I win the jug and the Tour Championship again this year.
No, the jug is mine because that's the only one I'm missing.
That is the only major you're missing. I'm missing that major too. But
And
That's
I'm a little sour about last year because I had a chance to win it and I blew it on the last couple holes. I was
and
chasing
it is
Clark
funny how
down.
we're going into season number 3, and like between you, me, and Clark, the 3 guys who play the most and legitimately go for the wins. All we talk about is the majors.
Yeah,
So we have 2 majors. We have the Jug, and we have the Tour Championship for the jacket.
yep.
And that between the 3 of us, those are the ones we really want to win.
Well, you have a jacket.
I do.
I have a jacket, and Clark has the jug.
Has the Jug.
Because the jug has only been played once.
Yes.
Because we brought it in last
So we've
year.
had 3 majors and 3 different major winners.
Correct.
So now it's time for somebody to take the lead in the majors.
Yep. Yep.
Tiger and Jack.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And it's fun because we all do it in different ways, and we're all very, very similar
But again,
golfers.
that's what makes it fun.
Yep.
It is we play our practice rounds, we help each other with our game, we're critiquing what we're doing. It's like I can tell you when you're over swinging.
Yep.
You can tell me when I'm getting lazy. But when we go play the events, we want to win.
Yeah, so there's no helping each other out there. You're on your own, buddy.
Especially when there's points involved, because again, I want to beat you, I want to beat Clark, and vice versa,
Yep.
right? And we just want those bragging rights for when the season's over.
No, it's exciting, and I mean, I can't wait for it. I mean, it's this has been fun. The last couple of years, things have kind of developed and grown, have taken on a life of their own. I mean, we're at the point now where golf season and our Mulligans and Hacker season is one of the most exciting things that I look forward to every summer.
Yeah, and we have made some really cool friends in the social media world that we chat with all the time, and that's a part of it as well, growing and we have some people who pay attention to what we're doing in the league.
Yep.
People that pay attention to what we're doing in podcasts, and that's cool when we chat with those people, and they ask us questions about what goes on in the podcasts, and like when you were talking about this, what is that, and just those type of interactions. It just brings that community together while reaching out into the community.
Yeah,
it's a blast, and some people don't get even around what we're doing. They don't get what we're doing here. They don't understand why we're doing a podcast. They don't understand why we're doing a league. They don't understand why we're making logos and stuff like that. But it's to sell what we're doing, and not sell to make money, but just, hey, this is what we're doing for fun. This is going to be my hobby.
Yeah,
for the rest of my days.
That's it, right? It's
a
hobby for us.
Whether we do this for the rest of our days or not.
Yep.
We're going to be doing golf for the rest of our days.
100%.
So, man, let's just build the community, make friends, and see where it goes. We have a couple of people that we're involved with that might come and play golf with us this year.
Yeah.
Like legitimately make the trip to come and play golf with us from, provinces away. That's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
It's like, yeah, cool, if we make
who would have guessed that?
If we make it out that way, we're definitely going to get around, and that's just. And again, it's all going to be on social media. We're going to post about it, and that's part of what we do for the social media stuff. And it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy posting. I enjoy doing the scrolling through our friends and finding new pages. Somewhere down the line here, we'll have to do a favorite podcast type thing where other podcasts that we listen to, because there's a couple of new ones. Club Twirls with the Girls. It's a couple of girls out of Calgary.
Okay.
Just started a golf podcast.
I'll have to check that one out.
I've listened to a couple of their episodes. It's, again, just learning about the golf community and learning about why they're into golf and why they're doing golf podcasts. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's super exciting, and it's been a while since we've been on, so we just wanted to check in with everybody.
Absolutely.
Have a little rewind of what happened in the break, and I mean, get everybody prepped for the season, and we'll swing back in another few weeks here, and keep everybody in the loop. Make sure you're following our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube. There's always stuff going up.
We're going to post our scores and the standings and everything on our socials like we've done for the last couple of years. Maybe even do, I don't know. We'll see what comes.
Yeah, just keep your eyes on things, but we'll see what's happening.
There's things happening, so pay attention, and we'll catch you next time. Hopefully not too far down.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys, and may your mulligans be plenty and your hacks be findable, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Later.